All right, so now we're going to try a third example. Again, feel free to pause the video and try it yourself and then see how you did. So the question is, does the chance of a single mother getting married depend on the sex of her child? So we've got some data here that came from the panel study of income dynamics. And our explanatory variable, again, forming the columns, the sex of the child, and the response variable forming the rows, whether or not the mother eventually got married. Notice the way the question is stated down below. Compute the odds ratio of marrying. So marrying is considered success in this case. This was told to us, whereas in the last example we kind of had to figure it out. Between mothers with a boy versus a girl, and then interpret. Okay, so again, the odds of success, meaning eventually getting married for women with a boy child, that is successes in ratio with failures, and that value is 1.313. Again, double check me on that. The odds of success among the women that had girl children, that is number of successes over number of failures, and that's 1.042. And so the odds ratio would be 1.313 over 1.042, so putting the odds in ratio with each other, and that gives 1.26. So our interpretation, the odds of marrying, good thing I can spell. The odds of marrying are slightly higher, 1.26 times higher, if the mother has a boy than if she has a girl. So that doesn't seem terribly dramatic. Now, I want to just mention, aside from the fact that this odds ratio is closer to 1 than either of the previous two. So if the odds ratio is 1, then that means the odds are the same for both groups, right? So the closer the odds ratio is to 1, the more similar the groups are in terms of your success outcome. So this example is different than the other two in the sense that the relationship between the variables, we could say, is weaker than it was in the previous two examples. The other thing is that the previous two examples were involving randomized experiments. So the subjects were placed into the treatment groups randomly. There was random assignment to treatments. Whereas this example 3 is an observational study, or comes from an observational study. And so we would not be able to determine cause and effect in this case, right? So if we were to find that the difference in the groups was statistically significant in this example 3, we couldn't say that the sex of the child caused the difference, whereas in the previous two, if we do find a statistically significant difference between the groups because of the random assignment, we could say it was the drug that caused the difference and nothing else. Of course, in this example 3, we have no choice but to do an observational study because you cannot randomly assign women to have a boy versus a girl, so that's just not even an option.